Well, hello, fellow humans. I'm back. First off, wanted to just thank everybody that was involved in last night's live chat regarding kindness. I definitely enjoyed that, and I really appreciate having the engagement with people. For me, that's what this is all about, especially during these times that we're living in right now, where the social engagement is not what it once was. So tonight I wanted to do something a little bit different. Again, as we continue to talk about our post-Trump, post-political themed show. I know we've been talking about kindness. I wanted to talk about actually a movie. So I do know a few months back we were discussing other things to talk about if we decided to not talk about politics, and we talked about art a little bit, and perhaps I will again one of these evenings share some art if I feel so inclined or confident to do that. But I wanted to talk about a particular movie. That was one of the other things that came up, was the idea of reviewing movies. And so I do like that idea. I would like to do ones that tie into certain themes of the show. So several years back, I kind of made a personal challenge to myself, if you could call it challenge, to watch all the top 250 movies on IMDB, the Internet Movie Database. They have a list of 250, the highest rated of IMDB users. And I don't know if the top list is the exact same as it was at the time, but at the time, one of the top movies was 12 Angry Men. And I decided to watch that one first because the other movies that were a little bit ahead of it on the list I had already seen. So the idea was to watch all the movies that I hadn't seen that are in that top 250. So that was the first one I watched, and it has been a while since I watched it. I haven't watched it since then, so it's not fresh in my mind. But I did want to start off by talking about that one because I think the plot of it is really important and really relevant to what I talk about a lot on the show. So, if you haven't seen the movie, you might not want to listen, although I'm really not going to go into anything too specific because I haven't seen it in a long time and I don't remember a lot of the specifics, but the overall theme to me is what's important. So it stars Henry Fonda. It was made in, I think it was 1957. And it is about an 18-year-old young man who is on trial for murder, and it's a death penalty case. So if he gets convicted, he's going to be put to death. 12 men on the jury, which right away that's kind of shows a sign of the times right there, because today you would not typically have an all men jury, I don't think. But anyway, 12 men on the jury. Juror number 8, Henry Fonda, is the one holdout. Everybody else is like, yep, this kid's guilty for sure. Let's get this over with and go home. And they don't even want to deliberate. They're just so sure. And Henry Fonda is the holdout. He says, you know what, there's a kid's life on the line here. I'm not good with just saying guilty. I need to explore this more. And throughout the course of the movie, he basically inserts reasonable doubt through various different examples. And as the viewer, you kind of go along in this journey because on surface level, as the viewer, you kind of get behind the 11 jurors who are saying that the kid is guilty. And as the movie goes along, you start to see Henry Fonda's side, and one by one, as they go down different themes, different concepts, potential happenings of what happened in this case, more and more jurors start to drop off until finally the last one, who has the biggest kind of dog in the case, without giving too much away, finally comes around, and eventually they all vote not guilty, and the kid is let go. So I just always thought this was a great story. very very simple, very to the point. The whole movie takes place in the jurors' room where they're deliberating, which is pretty interesting. So you really get a perspective, and it's in real time. In other words, it's 2 hours long, and it's 2 hours long for these 12 men deliberating. So you really get a sense of the thought process going into it. And I think it's just a great movie because it does really illustrate the importance of being that 10th man. In this case, it's 12th man, but same concept. And that's what he illustrates in the movie. He says he's not necessarily saying he knows for sure that the kid is innocent, but he's saying that there's too much at stake for me to simply agree with the rest of you. I have a responsibility to call this into question and insert some doubt. So I think it's a really good movie for that reason, and speaks to the importance of not being afraid to question the consensus as well. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. If anybody has any thoughts on other good movies that potentially fit in with the themes of, being the 10th man, questioning the consensus, or any other themes that we talk about. I know that kindness is the one that we've talked about lately, and kindness in all its various forms. I was thinking more about the live stream last night, and one of the things that I didn't get to, and I mentioned this in the comments later, was that I was interested in the idea of trying to match the generosity that we saw with my friend Will, and try to do something like that over here on my side of the coast, and maybe encourage other people to do the same, and maybe we can kind of do a kindness spreading event, because I do think that kindness in some extent is contagious, or it can be. So that's kind of what I was thinking about that. Again, if anybody has any thoughts on potential acts of kindness, ideas for things, I'm definitely open to hearing it. I also thought it was really cool for anybody that also follows Bo of the Fifth Column. Today he shaved his beard live on his video, kind of in solidarity with a young lady who was concerned about her father not wanting to shave his beard and not wanting to wear a mask, to kind of emphasize that point about wearing a mask. So I thought that was pretty cool, and as Feral Human pointed out, it was timely because we were just talking about the idea of spreading kindness, and then that happened the next day. So I thought that was pretty cool too. So anyway, I hope you liked the review. Let me know. I haven't done a lot of reviews, so I know that was probably kind of rough. But I also I kind of pride myself in showing reality. I guess what I'm trying to say, showing who I am, unedited and unhinged. So I hope that you that you enjoyed it, and I appreciate you humoring me in watching me embellish myself here. So anyway, I appreciate it, and again, let me know if you have any ideas for future acts of kindness, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll be talking to y'all again really soon. And remember, don't be afraid to question the consensus.